Hey, Pablo, thought I'd make a quick video here for you. I know you're into everything construction technology, and just figured I'd show you some of the options. Didn't know if you knew about inside the MC1 system on that excavator. Um, so I'm just in the run screen. This is on a simulator, so there's a lot I can't do, but kind of show you some basics here. Of course, your offset tools, you probably already know this, but if you want to offset the height, so basically raise or lower the surface to, say, subgrade or whatever, what have you, you can just click on your offsets and you can either do plus and minus, and it'll offset by whatever we have set as our predefined offset amount, or you can just click on here and type in whatever height you want. Um, this was a beta version before the version you guys have, but on the version you guys have, it'll create a list here of all the offsets you've used previously, so you can quick select them. Some other things, so if I want to follow a line, so say like the flat bottom of this ditch, typically it'd be a pipe or something, but this is what my simulator's close to. You just click and hold on it, and it pops up. Now this is saying, what do you want to do? You want to follow it for height? So if it was a 3D polyline from invert out to invert in, you could select that, and it would follow that pipe model instead of the trifaces. And then also you have horizontal alignment. So if it was a pipe run and you already selected a height, you could say follow height on this, and it'll tell you left and right to stay in line with the pipe. Then you have the lines up under here are wherever you click closest to, that's the first line, and then down the list is each line farther and farther away. Or you can do auto snap, and whatever line the machine's closest to, that's what it's going to snap to and tell you left and right to get to that line. And right now you can see it's going to the center of the bucket. On the machine panel, you have up, down, left, and right arrows. If you push the up and down arrows, it'll move your reference point to the left or to the right. So say you're cutting out 4 foot behind a back of curb, you can put it on the right side of your bucket and select your back of curb, and then you know when you're exactly 4 foot behind, so you don't overbuild your material. So those are some pretty handy features. Also, if you want to turn your layers on and off, you just click and hold down again, and then you have your layers menu here where you can go in and turn off your 3D faces. So then, if they don't want to see the triangles, they can still see all of the 3D polylines. Also, if the line work wasn't elevated, a lot of times they want that off because their line work disappears because the surface shading covers it up. So we'll turn that off as well. Um, of course, you probably realized it has pinch and zoom, so you can zoom in and out like an iPhone. I can't do it on here. But it also has where if you hold down 2 fingers on it and swipe, you can move around and look at any place on the job site away from the machine. So it would look clear across the job at another area if you want to. And then when you're ready for it to center back up on the machine, you just tap on the screen and hit this, and it'll center back up on the machine. Then of course you have your different views here. So if I click, I can either do 3 fingers and swipe to the left or swipe to the right, and it'll change. Or when you tap on the screen, these arrows pop up, and they can switch to their forward profile view, so they can see the tops and bottom breaks of their slopes, and then they can see their cross slope. For the simulator, I have a 6 foot offset in. That's why you see here's the original model grade, and here's my offset grade. And then this line represents when I would be in line with that 0.94 on the that guideline where we did auto select. Then you have a couple more here. So you got where you can see all 3 at once. And your version actually has a mass cut fill view where the whole screen will turn red, blue, or green if you keep going. It's just not on my simulator. If you want to see it overhead view, just flat, you can just click up here. And now we're just in your standard overhead view. You can zoom in and out, and really good for when you're trying to follow a line really tight and viewing in 3D is kind of hard to judge when you're dead over the top of it, especially if they haven't selected a line to follow. There are some other options, so I'm going to click back over here. If I go out of this screen into the menu, we can go to settings. So here we have this tilt indicator. So when your bucket, it's showing that is the color that fills up below the bucket whenever that represents how the slope is of the machine angled to the design slope. I pretty much always like to leave that on. This auto hide navigation bar, I definitely like that. And I'll show you what that does. And then machine on or off, we can do that. So if the machine's getting in the way of your visual, all you'll see is the bucket. And then that auto hide, you see the menu disappeared. So it gives them more screen space. And then you can just tap on the screen and your menus pop back up. So I pretty much leave that on all the time. Now, next thing, if they need to as-built any points, so you're putting in some structures, anything, toe slope, whatever you have, you can just click on this button down here, and it'll store a point. I'm going to hit revert because I don't really want to store that point. If we want to, you can click and hold on that, and then we can hit our arrow up here, and we can give it point codes just like we would in surveying with a rover or robot or what have you. And you can just go in and add codes, give it a name, and as you store your points, that's what it'll be stored as. And then when you do a sync on the machine, it'll put a CSV file, points file, with all your stored shots for your as-built. Let's see, bucket. So on here, we can go in and set our tolerances. So if we click this, we're changing what colors represent cut, fill, and on grade. And on the height tolerance, here's where we can set, if it's within green, we're within 700ths. Some guys want the green to be opened up a little bit more to say 1200, so it's not as hard to keep it in green. They're not chasing it as much. You can also make it to where you can hit below and turn your beeps on, and then if they'll only hear a beep, it'll start beeping at them real slow when they go below design, so they know that they don't overdig that way as well when they're just flying at the hip with it and not watching the screen so carefully. Less time on the screen, more time in front of you is safer, moving a lot faster. And then you have not offsets. Let's see. So if we go into our model options, so in here, if you have multiple designs loaded, you can go in and select from your different designs, and they'll load them up instantly. And then say if they're out there and they just need to dig to an elevation, or they need to create a single or dual slope, they can just go to create model from the home screen here. So if they just want to go to a flat surface and have it tell them when they're cutting and filling straight to a known elevation, you can see all the other options here. You can just hit this arrow, and then you can either type in whatever height you want to grade to, or if I put my tooth on a benchmark, I can hit equals and it'll match it. It'll just give you a picture of it. You can name it so you can use it later. You don't have to recreate it. And on the machine, it's a lot faster than this. This simulator's a little buggy. It's pretty much instant. There we go. So you can see now the original design's kind of grayed out or more translucent, and now it's we're grading to that flat model we put in it. And we want to switch back to our normal design. We just click it and switch on the fly. So now we're back where we were. Now there are some other options in here, of course, but that's just want to give you a little quick overview. And if you ever have any questions or want me to make you anything up to go over, just let me know. I love doing this kind of stuff. Thank you, sir, and appreciate all you do for us.